Supreme Lord, eternal truth, let us obey thee alone and live according to truth. परमो च प्रभु सत्यम नित्यत्वमेव केवलम अनुवर्तमहे सत्यम अनुजीवम केवलम ओं शांति शांति शांति. Namaste, good evening, welcome all of you, Bande Mataram. Today we are going to have a short discussion on faith. We will discuss in brief on faith. Everything will be almost discussed in the philosophy of Sri Aurobindo. So we are combining the basic philosophy of integral yoga of modern Sri Aurobindo. Now when we are going to discuss on the spiritual session of this evening on faith. So Sri Aurobindo keeps writing some messages in different places on faith. We have to quote few lines from faith from Sri Aurobindo's writings first. Faith does not depend upon experience. It is something that is there before experience. So thing is that one is coming on the way, that is experience. So Sri Aurobindo quotes here, Sri Aurobindo tries to explain us. Faith does not depend upon experience. For this experience, soul has come here. Faith does not depend upon experience. First, it is something that is there before experience. Before experience, faith is there. So entirely we can conclude that faith depends upon the experience. If we can experience, then we can faith. So it is not likely like this. Something that is there before experience. Faith is the soul's witness to something not yet manifested, achieved or realized. Three things Sri Aurobindo put it here for us. Faith is soul's witness. Faith is soul's witness to something not yet manifested, achieved or realized. Three things. One is manifested, second one is achieved or realized. So faith is soul's witness to something not yet to be manifested, yet to be achieved, yet to be realized. Then, faith is a thing that precedes knowledge. It comes before knowledge, as it is coming before experience. It is existing before experience. Here, Sri Aurobindo quotes, faith is a thing that precedes knowledge. It not comes after knowledge. So, if suppose somebody, if we can be able to gain some knowledge, then faith will come. Not like this. Faith is something that precedes knowledge. It comes before knowledge. Like this, suppose we will get some experience, then there will be faith. Not like this. So it is before experience, before it precedes knowledge. Next one. Whoever did anything great in the world without having faith in his mission or the truth at work behind him, Is there anybody something like this? Is there any person like this who has achieved? The beautiful definition, we will write it, we will quote it again. Whoever did anything great in the world, whoever did anything in the world without having faith or faith in his mission or the truth and thing behind it. So there must be truth, there must be faith. After this faith and the truth, he has achieved it. So before everything, before his working and before the truth had to work behind them, so faith must be there. It is the precondition. It is the in the initial level, faith is existing. Then it is the outer intellect that is infirm or deficient in faith. It is the outer intellect. After knowledge, experience, you are in the quotes of intellect. It is the outer intellect that is infirm or deficient in faith. The inner being is in the heart that it has always. So this intellect, it is the outer intellect that is infirm or deficient. It is not infirm or deficient in faith. Then which is sufficiency, which possesses it? The inner being in the heart, it has it always. So the inner being has the faith always. The outer intellect sometimes or most of the time infirm or deficient in faith. So faith does reside in the inner being in the heart. It is always. Without faith, what will happen? Without faith, nothing decisive can be achieved. Nothing decisive can be achieved without faith. So Sri Aurobindo quotes in another place, a faith in things that was not yet, it must be. If अब तक कुछ भी नहीं था, it was not there till now, naturally it has to come, it has to be achieved, it has to be, faith has to come. Without faith, nothing decisive can be achieved. Nothing or something can be achieved, that is not that much important. But nothing decisive can be achieved without faith, either in this world or for possession in the worlds above. Inside this bound in confines of this world where we are getting possessed, or in for possession in the worlds above, nothing decisive can be done without faith. So faith must be there, active and ardent faith. So for that one, mother's prayer is there. We have read it. Glory to thee, O Lord, supreme master of all realization. Give us a faith, active, ardent, and unshakable in thy victory. So this faith will be how? Active, ardent, and unshakable for what? For thy victory. For that, Mother prays in a very intense manner. Faith in the heart is obscure, is the obscure and often distorted reflection of the hidden knowledge. The knowledge is hidden. Knowledge is better concealed. So, Sri Aurobindo quotes it, faith in the heart. Faith in the heart is the obscure and often distorted reflection. Obscure and distorted reflection of a hidden knowledge, that is faith in the heart. The world thinks that it moves by the light of reason. After this knowledge, experience, and intellect, Sri Aurobindo comes to the another point, another word Sri Aurobindo uses, that is reason. This is a mental phenomenon almost. The world thinks that it moves by the light of reason. World thinks. It is the initial and very profound idea, very much firm idea, that the world is moved by the light of reason. But it is really impelled by its faiths and instincts. Not by reason, but the world moves on, the world is carried out, the world moves forward with the impelled by the faiths and instincts. So faith, with faith, another term Sri Aurobindo uses, that is instincts. Faith is a necessary means for arriving at the realization. What is the special significance of faith? What is the importance of faith? Faith, Sri Aurobindo tries to analyze it here. Faith is a necessary means for arriving at the realization. For the spiritual realization, for the supramental realization, which will come after spiritual realization. For this to arrive at the realization, for arriving at the realization, faith is necessary. It is the initial condition. It is the utmost necessity. Faith is indeed knowledge, giving the ignorance and intimation of itself previous to its own manifestation. Just imagine how technically, philosophically, Sri Aurobindo has quoted the line. Faith is indeed knowledge. Knowledge, reason, intellect, everything we have discussed one by one. And then it is Sri Aurobindo tries to analyze, to conclude, to take a brief gist from it. Faith is indeed knowledge. Faith is indeed knowledge, giving the ignorance, what? An intimation of itself previous to its own manifestation. Before its manifestation, previous to its manifestation, faith indeed gives knowledge. Faith is indeed knowledge, giving to the ignorance an intimation of itself previous to its own manifestation. At the end of the flickering of faith will cease. At the end, when now itself the world goes on with faith, at the end of the flickerings of faith will cease, and for we shall see his face and feel always the divine presence. Now we are going with the instant, with the true faith, with the ardent faith, unshakable faith that God is there, divine is there. We are moving, we are spinning up to Him, we are moving in ardently towards Him. So at the end of the flickerings of the faith, still in the quotes here, at the end of the flickerings of faith will cease. At the end, the flickerings of faith will cease. The flickering, what is the flickerings of faith? At the end it will cease. For we shall see his face and feel always the divine presence. And that time only we shall see his face and feel always the divine presence. Divine face and divine presence we will see finally. Faith fights for God while knowledge is withheld. Just imagine how technically, how tactical definitions Aurobindo is providing. Faith fights for God. Faith fights for God while knowledge is withheld. Because with knowledge very difficult, there will be some argument, some contradiction, something either and here and there it will be there. But faith fights for God while knowledge is withheld. Then when the realization come, before some time there was a realization of God, it was written. For the realization comes, when the realization comes, when there is realization, the faith divinely fulfilled and completed will be transformed into an eternal flame of knowledge. There is the matter of transformations here in the course of here. When the realization comes, that spiritual realization comes, of course, for now, then afterwards the supramental realization will come. First, nobody can have the supramental if he does not have the spiritual realization. So for the realization, in ways here in the course here, for the realization, when the realization comes, the faith divinely fulfilled, the faith fulfilled divinely and completed, fulfilled and completed divinely will be transformed into an eternal flame of knowledge. Then only this flame, this will be completed, this faith will be divinely fulfilled and completed. And after being divinely fulfilled and completed, it will be transformed into the eternal flame of knowledge. That final transformation will be there when the realization comes. So for that only realization is necessary. Now itself it is faith. Sometimes knowledge, reason and all these are preceding faith, preceding everything. Faith is required, necessary. See, so many words we have answered till now. But finally here in the course here, when the realization comes, the faith divinely fulfilled and completed, faith divinely fulfilled and completed will be transformed into an eternal flame of knowledge. Then very beautiful thing is there. Even an intellectual faith must always be a worker of miracles. Even an intellectual faith must always be a worker of miracles. Faith before faith, it is coming. What is the type of faith? It is intellectual faith. So even the intellectual faith must always be a worker of the miracles. Then man demands miracles. For this miracle we know. Man demands miracles. They will see, they will realize, and they will after have their trust in the divine or something. Man demands miracle that he may have faith. Only by achieving or only by seeing the miracles they can have faith. He wishes to be dazzled in order to that he may see. He wants to see, he wants to have to see the miracle, and so that he can trust it. But thing is that it is not, it is the miracles happen, miracles are not done. So one example we can take here, very beautiful example. One sadhu, after completing his siddhi and all, he came to a kingdom and expressed his willing to show the miracles. So many miracles are there, he wanted to show it, to display it. So as per the condition, people went there. There was a big, huge gathering there. So then at the right time, at the right place near the hilly area that under the mountain, he displayed the miracles. He remembered that mantra, he chanted. Then that there was a huge miracle of the divine event that took place. But actually problem is that during everybody was each and everybody was enjoying that miracle. It was the unique sadhana of the Siddha Purusha, that is the sadhaka, that is the Swami, that is the sadhu. But what happened at that time, a dust, a grain of dust flew away, and it actually fell in the sadhu's ear, sadhu's eye, so that he could not be able to listen, he could not be able to see anything else. When everybody was observing, everybody was enjoying, when they were actually mixed and fulfilled with this sadhana, with these miracles, then what is going on? And that time actually this sadhu was lamenting because the time is gone and he could not be able to look anything for this grain of dust. It was for his sake of the ego, he was not able to see it. He lost the sadhana, siddhi of his sadhana forever. Thank you.